the Saints versus the Sharks, or the Sharks versus the Saints, considering we're playing at the Sharks' home. But it's going to be a spectacular game, people. It's going to be a spectacular game. I wanted to have a quick preview. The teams have been released, both sides. They're playing later on today, 7:45, and let's break it down. Let's go through a couple things, my thoughts on the game, a quick prediction, and I want to see what you guys think. What are your predictions on the game? So please like and subscribe, and let's get cracking. Both teams are absolute monsters, especially considering we have the likes of, their biggest players, all of them coming back from the international duty. We are seeing players like Cowan Dickey back in the squad. We're seeing the likes of your Curry back in the squad. We're seeing the likes of Ford back in the squad. And then you have the likes of Henry Pollock for the Saints. You have the likes of Tommy Freeman, which we're going to break down the squads a little bit later on. But that's just a little quick show to show what kind of players are going to be playing. What kind of play, the level of talent that's going to be playing today. It is absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. Now, both teams, in fairness, haven't exactly been having the best time in the Gallagher Premiership. The Sale Sharks currently sit sixth, and the Saints sit eighth. Now, yes, Sale's had a much better showing in the Premiership this season than the Saints have, especially considering the Saints are actually champions. But we could potentially see Sale move up a good few spots in the event of a win. But hopefully the Saints can really grab some, crucial points and bring them just that little bit closer to the Saracens, who currently sit in seventh at 34 points. Now, Sale are coming off of a very big win off of Newcastle there. Their hopes are going to be high. They're going to be coming in with a lot of intensity. They're going to be coming in with a lot of momentum. It was a very, very big win for them, beating Newcastle 39-15. And then to have that boost of having all of these big name players come back into the squad is just going to motivate them even more. And they are going to be a very, very scary side to contest with. The Saints, however, haven't exactly had the best of times, losing quite heavily to the Saints, to Leicester at home, not getting a single point on the board, and then losing again to the Harlequins, 22-19. And, things are just going on a kind of downward projection for the Saints, which is horrible, horrible to see. Hopefully, now that we do have a couple more players coming back from international duty, and we are going to see a lot more of them kind of filter in through until the end of the season. It's going to be interesting to see how many points the Saints can pick up. Now, before we go and break on into the actual squads, I just wanted to make a quick note in relation to Vermeulen. Now, this guy, Jacques Vermeulen, he is phenomenal. Absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. Exeter Chiefs are losing such a big player. And as much as it kills me to say, the Sharks are gaining such a bloody immense player. Wow. What a signing from the Sharks. Yes, he is, he's in his 30s. I think he's actually 30 years old. But he could have gone anywhere. He had a lot of interest from clubs back home, like the Stormers. He had offers in Japan where, we all see there's big, big money in Japan. But no, he's decided to stay in England and move to Sale. And this is going to be a very, very big signing for them. And then you look at the kind of monsters that they have on show. It's going to be scary. What a brilliant, brilliant signing by Sale. That is really, really scary. So let's break on into the teams, and I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are in relation to the teams. So in terms of the Saints, we have quite a few changes here, but let's break it down. So loose head, we have Iogun, hooker Langdon, tight head is Davison. We've got our lock pairing of Chunya Munga and Alex Coles. I'm loving to see Munga come back into the squad. We have been seeing Maya Vanua, doing pretty well, but having the likes of Munga, he brings in a completely different level of physicality, which I think is going to be needed in this Sharks game. Moving on into our back row, we got Kameni at 6. We have Scott Young at 7, and then the big name Henry Pollock coming in at 8. And we saw the impact that he had in the last game with up against Leicester. It's very unfortunate that he wasn't actually able to get a try under his belt. He crossed the line a couple times. The Saints' handling was absolutely, non-existent, but they had big performances, which really started to come from when Pollock came onto the field. He made things happen. He had, that oomph. He had that kind of energy that he really brought onto the field, and he started to make things happen, which they weren't before. So it's going to be lovely to see Pollock coming in, continuing on that form from England. And like I said, we saw him come on. He made himself a little cameo appearance in the last game. And within that time, he made so much effort. Yeah, he did make a couple mess ups, but it was that energy that he brought to the squad which really lifted them. So hopefully that's what we're going to see early game with the Saints, with having Pollock at 8. So yeah, he's going to be a very big player to watch, and I think uh, especially in the breakdown, he's going to be a very big player, because we got to think he is a big guy, but he is also so quick. We see how quickly he can break the defensive line. It's scary how quickly he moves. So yeah, um, that's a I really like that call in relation to that. We have Alex Mitchell coming back in from the from the England Six Nations, and again another big player. I wouldn't have anyone other than Alex Mitchell in the squad, and it's going to be brilliant to see how he's going to dictate and control this game. Now, personally, I did expect Finn Smith to be playing, but James has come in at 10, and yeah, we are seeing, Smith not in the, getting rested, but still brilliant ability, and again, he brings something completely different to Finn Smith. Moving on into our centers, we have Dingwall and Odendal. Honestly, I actually really like Odendal. That physicality that he brings. I mean, again, we saw him make a little cameo appearance in the last game. He again is that physicality that I absolutely love. That ball carrying ability. It is absolutely spectacular. So I'm really hoping this guy has a good game, because he's got so much potential, and he's an absolute tank when he's on form. But only time will tell in relation to that. In terms of our wings, this one honestly I was not expecting. We are seeing Hendy slot into the 11 slot, where honestly I was seeing Seabrook start. But yeah, we are seeing Hendy start at 11, and then Tommy Freeman starting at 14. And am I disappointed? No, not at all. Um, Absolutely bloody spectacular. Please, I want to see more of this, because Ram is coming in at 15 and giving Hendy that space on the side. Beautiful. Give him time to open up his legs. All right. And him and Pollock were the outstanding players in the last game. Hendy always seems to have that energy about him that, things are going to get done. And that's what's going to need to happen up against Sale Sharks if they want to get anything out of this game. So that's a very big squad for the Saints. I am liking it. It's just how are they going to handle how are they going to handle Sale? And please, whatever coaching staff there is, put glue on these people's hands. Like seriously, put glue on them. Do not let them drop that ball. Do not let them drop that ball, please. No more handling errors. No more mess ups. No more unnecessary penalties. Because that's what gave them that's what gave Leicester the game. All of the unnecessary handling errors. Moving on into Sale Sharks. Again, scary. Absolutely scary. And I don't know how the Saints are gonna effectively handle this. So we have our loose head is Rod, Bevan Rod. Our tight head is a poker for jaw, who's quite possibly one of the biggest talents in English rugby right now, and an absolutely monster kid. He is so scary. A player that I would genuinely love to see at the Saints. And then hooker, Luke Cowan-Dickey, coming in from England action, and again, scary, 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 scary. Potential lion right there, and yeah, just absolutely, absolutely scary. Moving on into our lock pairing, we have Bamba and Hill. Again, honestly, I think the Saints lock pairing will be too much for for the Sharks, but Hill is no joke. He is no joke whatsoever. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these how we see these opposite numbers hit head on head. So yeah, that that's gonna be a good battle there. Moving on into the back three, we have Rain, Priya, and then Curry, and just I don't care which Curry is on the field. If there's any Curry on the field, run. Just run. Like, what kind of family is this? It's just ridiculous. Like, it's unfair. Like, this is not only do you have one of the best back rows in the world, and then it turns out the guy has a damn twin who is just as good as him, who plays in the same position as him. That's unfair. That is completely, completely unfair. Um, Moving on, we have the number 9 War, and honestly, I don't actually know that much about War, but if he's anything like his name, it's going to be an absolute war. Moving on into 10, we have Ford coming in, and we all know just how effective Ford is. I'm not looking forward to this. I am not looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to his kicking game. I'm not looking forward to his carrying game. The guy, he is so bloody smart on and off the ball. And I'll tell you what, the guy has very, very big challenges ahead for a potential Lion spot. But yeah, Ford is a scary, scary player. Moving on into our centers, we have Bedlow at 12, Priya at 13, another Priya. Again, big carriers of the ball, bring a lot of energy, a lot of physicality to the game, and they move very, very quickly. So, again, another scary, scary aspect. 11, we're getting Oflati. 14, we have Roebuck. Honestly, I would have liked to see a little bit more of Roebuck in the Six Nations. We saw him in the last game. The guy, he actually played phenomenally. His up and under game is brilliant. He is so good in the air as well. Yes, he's not necessarily the fastest of players. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Tommy Freeman in the event, or in the fact that he's a much smarter player. He doesn't need to have that blistering pace, to be able to beat people. He's a very well balanced, technical player. He's got a lot of strength. He's got a good amount of speed. He's very good in the air, and he brings kind of like an all rounder performance, which I do love to see in a player. And then at 15, we have Carpenter, who he is brilliant when it comes down to just managing a game, relieving pressure, using his kicking game to his advantage. And yeah, this is going to be a scary, scary game. I don't think the Saints have beaten the Sale Sharks at their own home in many years. Like many, many years. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because the Saints are dying for points. They are dying for points. So they're going to have to put in a very big performance. I'm really hoping to see Pollock coming with just that blistering pace, that energy, that physicality that we saw in the last game, just breaking tackles, breaking that offensive line and pushing for that try. And honestly, I think we will end up seeing that throughout the game, but only time will tell. The Saints have such potential in their squad, and I'm really loving seeing Hendy at 11. I'm really loving to see Hendy at 11. Obviously, I would like to see Freeman 14, Slight Home at 11, and then Hendy at 15, or potentially Furbank when he comes back. But it is such a shame that both Slight Home and Furbank are out. So this does play a very, very big part, because not having a player like Furbank is a crucial play that has been lost. And that just that connection, having the likes of Freeman, Slightholm, and then Furbank, and then along the lines of Mitchell and Smith, that connection there is just ridiculous. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out, how many handling errors the Saints are going to give to the Sharks, and who's going to be able to keep a cooler head, because we all know both these sides are attacking monsters. But if the Saints decide they just want to let the Sharks win, what can you do? They might as well just pass them the ball and say, go ahead and run with it. But yeah, I'm really, really hoping for a Saints win here. I don't care if it's by half a point, by 1 point, whatever it is, just get the game across the line, get a win, get those points on the board, and really try and get the most out of the rest of the season. Try and get as high up as possible, because this is not a performance that should be happening from champions. This is not a performance that we should be seeing from champions. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow. And catch you guys in the next one. Bye.